set. Hey, welcome back. That was Night of the Living Dead, the first part. We'll show you the next part next time, but we wanted to come back because, of course, we're going to be doing some more of our We're going to do some more of our regular installment Hex for trainables. Now, this is the part of the show where we show you some, little tips and tricks and charms and magic that you can use to make your life a little bit easier. Now, today's spell comes to us from Iceland, and it is all about how to make money. Because, come on, that's something we all gotta do, right? We live in this capitalist hellscape, we all gotta survive, and in medieval Iceland, times were tough. All the land and goods and goodies were owned by like 2 families in the West Fjords, and everybody else was just a subsistence cod fisherman or something. And, I mean, hey, how are you going to get ahead? I mean, you guys can sympathize. We're kind of in the same situation today. Well, you're not going to get ahead by hard work. I mean, come on. When's that ever worked? You're going to get ahead by magic. So, here's a little trick, a little charm that the folks in Iceland used to use to bring some money their way. Now, what you're going to need here, you're going to need one of these guys, a little thing called a sea mouse, also known as Aphrodite aculeata. It's a marine worm native to the North Atlantic, and it's got that name because apparently, when viewed at a certain angle, it looks like a vagina. Yeah, so most scientists are men, I guess, back in those days when they named things. Because, I mean, really, just imagine that you're, like, a scientist, and you look at this marine worm, and you turn to your nomenclature bro, in this case played by the Cool Skeleton, and you say, unironically, without shame, this worm looks to me like a vagina, and in fact, I'm going to name it that, so that everyone knows I think this worm looks like a vagina. Obviously, brought to you by the same people who looked at an elephant's teeth and were like, yeah, those look like titties to me. Men. But anyway, the point is, the sea mouse loves money. Why does it love money? I don't know. It's a worm. It lives in the ocean. You wouldn't think it would need anything, but it just does. It hangs out in places where you're going to have lots of sunken treasure, gold doubloons, Spanish balloons, who knows, just all sorts of good stuff. So you want that sea mouse, because where it goes, treasure is sure to follow. And there are lots of ways to catch a sea mouse, but for our purposes today, we are going to have to use a very particular kind of net. Now, this net is woven from the finest virgin's hair, and you use it like a regular sea net. You just trawl it in the ocean until you catch yourself a sea mouse with one of these. Now, the best place to find a sea mouse is in an area where there are a lot of, shipwrecks, a place where there might actually be a lot of sunken treasure in the water. And if you happen to pull up some of that as well, hey, all the better. But, hey, if you give a man a fish, he eats one day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat forever. So if you get that money, it is finite, but if you get the sea mouse, it's going to last forever. So here's the next step. What you will do is you need a wooden box, just like this one. You open it up, you put your virgin hair net in there, just like some, little bit of bedding, and then you put your sea mouse right inside, right there. You close it all up. Now, the sea mouse, though, is a wily critter, and it wants to go back to the ocean. It is going to try and escape, and if it does, that's bad news for you, but also for everyone else who might make a living via the ocean, which in Iceland was literally everyone. Because once it gets back to the water, it's going to create a giant storm that will cause, well, a lot of damage and hurt a lot of people. So, plus, it's going to ruin your spell, so you're not going to be able to do anything without the sea mouse. So to keep the sea mouse there, what you're going to need the pelt of a black tomcat. Hey Hey, hey, sweetie pie. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. So for this next sequence, there's actually more than one way to do this. Alright, so now that we've got our cat pelt here, what you're going to do is you are going to paint a very specific sigil on that tomcat pelt right there. Now, this is called the ring sigil, or also known as, I'm going to say this wrong, Hringjalmor. This is kind of a simplified version of the sigil. We'll put like the real kind up here, but either one should work. Even the simplified version is still good. So what you're going to do, you take that tomcat pelt, you just wrap it all around. You wrap it all around. It's going to keep that sea mouse in there, nice and tight. Now, the last thing you will also need to do is you need a coin. Any coin will do. And you put that coin in the box. Oh, there we are. There's the hinge. You put it in there with the sea mouse. You keep it nice and tight. And as long as the sea mouse is in there with that coin, every time you go to check, every time you open that box, you're going to find more money in it. As long as that original coin stays in there, it will continuously draw money inside. So just open up. You have it's a bottomless purse, basically. As much money as you need, anytime you need it. So that is the Icelandic sea mouse spell. And I'm sure that, well, I'm sure you'll find some use for it. After all, I mean, you can't tell me that you don't need money. Hey, see? He's fine. Movie magic.